It's time to get excited. This was a message that I received last week, and I have to tell you, I've never actually received a message like this before, ever. And so I'm really excited to share this with you today. And I think you're going to really love today's video because there is so much, I don't want to say hope because it feels more than hope. If right now you feel like things are maybe not going quite the way you want them to, or you're not seeing results, this message really specifically is for you more than ever, okay? Because it's time to get excited. And I'm going to explain exactly why in today's video. So it's a bit of an energy update. But to be honest, there is going to be something I'm teaching about quantum mechanics in here, as I often do, right? So this is just a training all in itself, an explanation, if you will. Okay, so it's time to get excited. It may not look like it right now. It may not look like things are happening for you right now. But so much of what we've been taught in this world through the old paradigm is not true. It's not accurate. So, in other words, often when we see something reflected back to us in life, we're told to think this means a certain thing. When you raise your consciousness, when you start working with energy, what you do is you learn that a lot of what we've been told means XYZ actually means QRS. Like it means something completely different. And this is what I want to talk about in today's video because you might be looking around going, well, I don't see things happening, or things actually might even feel like they're getting worse. Okay. That does not necessarily mean they're getting worse. In fact, it could mean they're getting better and it's time to get excited. So this is what I want to explain. So it's really important that we see like so much of the way success is truly built and how this new paradigm works is so contrary to the old paradigm. And in today's video, I'm really going to explain this and unpack this. So as you're listening to this, what I want you to contemplate is, as I'm explaining this and going through this, is there something like this that's happening in your life right now? Okay. So, what I'm talking about. When you're working through an issue in your life, so saying you want to, I'm going to talk about abundance. I'm going to talk about this today in today's video, but it could be anything in life, right? So you're trying to create more abundance, trying to be more creative, you're trying to be more seen, you're trying to have more joy, whatever it might be. There's something that you're working on, but I'm going to use abundance today as the example because it feels very relevant for the month of May. And say you've been doing all this work. Say you've been trying to clear some old negative thoughts. You've been trying to, bring some new energy in. You've been taking steps in the physical world. You're really proactively taking inspired action to improve abundance in your life. You're doing all the things, okay? So you're moving towards this and you're really working towards something, right? Now, when you've been working towards something, what happens is things start to clear. You can kind of think of it energetic. I'm going to try to explain this as simple as possible, right? Because I think it's just value and simplicity. But you're clearing things from, you're clearing thoughts, you're clearing energies, you're doing all this clearing. Now, you might not be conscious of it. Might not be saying to yourself, I'm clearing, but that is what you're doing. Something really interesting happens when we do what I would call like a final purge on something. So whatever energy you're trying to clear, whatever state, whatever part of your life you're trying to improve, there is this, what I would call like a final purge, a final clear. It's like this last moment when it goes. But here's the tricky part. That last moment when it goes isn't usually very pretty. It's not. It's not. What this looks like is often something happens in your life that you don't want, that goes contrary to everything you've been learning. Like something happens in your life, like bad, what or you perceive as bad, like something you did not want. And it's somewhere around this area that you've been clearing. Now, I'm going to explain a couple different ways this can happen in a moment. You may have heard these called tests, initiations. Use whatever word you want. In some ways, I think test is kind of an accurate word in some ways, but I don't love the word in itself, just feeling tested. But what happens is when you've been clearing something for a long time, the universe is basically giving you an opportunity to choose what you say that you want, to choose to be the person that you say you want to be. So instead of calling it a test, I look at it as a choice point. And sometimes those choice points are really big. Like there's this big, massive, like things fall apart and they fall apart for you to choose a new way. So something big could happen in your life. Like I said, something awful could happen that you perceive as awful because you're losing something, you're letting go of something. But what the universe is really saying to you is, what are you going to choose? Who are you going to choose to be? Are you going to actually embody what you say you want? Because we can say we want something and we can sit and do clearings and we can do affirmations and we can take little steps. But sometimes there are these big moments where we actually have to make the choice. Like, are you going to actually walk the talk? That's one way this can happen. And the problem with this is when things like this happen, what a lot of people can do is go into story. Oh my God, why is this happening? I've been working on this. Why is this happening to me? We go into victim. I know I did this when I first started this work when I didn't understand how energy worked. I'd be like, oh my God, I've been working on this and now it's just getting worse. Like, really, what's going on here? It's really easy to go into story. Now, another way this can happen when there's a final clear, there's a final purge, is that you can feel really, really down. Like you can hit rock bottom. You can feel like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this forever. And it feels like, say you're in fear, lack, and scarcity about money or wealth or just opportunities or whatever it is. You could all of a sudden feel like there is no opportunities on the horizon. There is nothing. Like you could feel the worst you've ever felt. Okay. Now, if you've been doing the work and you've been showing up and you've been doing all these things, that can often mean that it's a final purge. Now, I can't say for sure if it's a final purge because I don't know what your life has been doing before this, but this does happen. Okay. Often when we hit rock bottom of that moment, when we've been working on something, and that's why I keep saying that because it's important to know if you've been working on something, it can literally be the final purge. But again, now what happens is, as humans, we go into story. We do this so quickly. What does this mean? Oh, I've been doing all this work for nothing. It's not working. It's da 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 da. And of course, as soon as we do that, as soon as we go into those emotions and we start telling ourselves the story, we've just kind of screwed ourselves. There's no other way for me to kindly say it. We've actually just now gone into story. We've lowered our vibration. We've lowered our frequency. We've gone into doubt. Like we've just now, I don't want to say we've ruined all the progress we've made because we don't ever ruin it. But it's going to take you longer now because you kind of like you put yourself back a step. So you may have gone like 5 steps forward and you've just taken 1 step back. And that's okay. You can get back up and keep going. But often it's just because it's this one, like when these emotions and these frequencies are leaving your body, they will often give you this one final, like, hurrah, like just one final. So what's important to do is when that happens, is just to observe it. Just observe your emotions. Just observe what you're feeling. Do what you need to do. Like go to your toolkit, like go out in nature. Do you meditate? Do you spend time with friends? Like what do you do to shift your frequency and not focus on that? Because that's the key. It's not about focusing on it and trying to get it to go away because it's already leaving. Your job now is to not interfere with it leaving. Your job is to get out of the way. So what do you need to do to get out of the way? Find something. And sometimes there's some days when I know this is happening for me. I'm going through 5 or 6 things. I'm trying different things because I'm so acutely aware now. I'm like, oh, this is all that is. And so it's not getting angry at myself for feeling this, not feeling sorry for myself, not making myself wrong for feeling any of these things. Just going, okay, this is just what's going on right now. And I get to choose, how do I respond to this? It's always a choice how we respond, right? And so find something to distract yourself, essentially, but something that's a high frequency distraction, not a low frequency one if you can, right? Like I said, you know what works for you. But the key here to shift your energy, to shift your thoughts as best you can. And it's okay if it takes a number of different things. Sometimes it takes a few days. The key here is to be incredibly gentle and kind with yourself when you're going through this. Do not make yourself wrong. Just like I said, the key here is allow this to leave because these frequencies want to leave. Breathe, 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 breathe. And like I said, nature, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful healers, and it really helps us regulate our nervous system. So that can be really powerful because this thing wants to leave. That's the great thing. This is why this is titled Get Excited, why this whole energy update's around Get Excited. Because there's many of you right now who are going through these final releases. Okay. There's a third way that some of this energy and final releases can come. This happened to me yesterday, and it's happened to me actually 2 times this year, really, really powerfully. And I'm going to talk about what that is. And I'm going to give you the example of what happened to me yesterday to really anchor it because it was kind of a crazy day yesterday. Well, actually, it wasn't a crazy day, it was a crazy 30 minutes when I saw something leave. So, what can happen is you can have these instances. So, again, imagine that you're trying to clear some frequencies and some thought patterns and energies around abundance. Okay, just for an example. And what can happen is within a window of time, you can have some very weird things happen, like weird little situations that you're put in. So, say it's like I said, around money, it's an instance around money, but something like really weird happens. You're like, what's going on here? And then something else weird will happen. You're like, okay, this is really random. But what you'll notice if you have a bunch of really weird things happen in a short period of time, there is a pattern there. Okay. And I'm going to tell you what happened with me yesterday to really land this because I know it probably sounds a little bit confusing, but if you've had this happen, you will get it. You'll be like, oh my God, I've had this happen. So, what happened to me yesterday? So, I've been working on some things. And yesterday I was downtown Vancouver. It was the BMO Vancouver Marathon, and my daughter was running in it. And so I was coming home on the SkyTrain, which is like a rapid transit system here in Vancouver, right? And it's packed. Like there's 25,000 people that go to this thing, right? Between the runners and all the spectators. And it was a gorgeous day. So the SkyTrain was absolutely packed. And I don't love riding the SkyTrain to begin with. I'm usually pretty attached to my car, but this was not a day to drive with all these people. So I'm getting close to my stop and there's people, like the whole train is packed. And I stand up. The woman who was sitting next to me was great. She moved. The door opened and the guy right there who was blocking me, I'm like, excuse me, like I need to get off the train. The doors are only going to stay open for like a minute or so, right? He didn't hear me. And so finally I'm like, I had to literally like tap him, go, excuse me, I need to get off, right? So he finally kind of goes, oh, okay. So I start walking towards the door. And again, people are just like all blocking me. I'm like, excuse me, nobody's moving. Like, I don't know where everybody was. They weren't there in the train though. That's all I can say. Their minds were elsewhere. And finally, like, I had to go like, you need to move. I need to get off this train. Like that bluntly, right? Like, I'm just like, I don't really feel like going an extra like train ride and coming back. That's not a vibe. So I got off the train. Of course, they moved. Then I got off just as the door closed. And I got off the train. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, that doesn't usually happen. So I'm walking home now. I've only got about 2 or 3 blocks. And I'm walking home on the sidewalk, and it's not a wide sidewalk. It can fit 2 people. And then there's a tiny bit of space on the side where there's gravel and a bit of like grass. And I'm walking along, and a bus passes me, and it stops just ahead of me. And all these people get out, like droves of people, and they're heading right my way, of course, because they're heading towards the SkyTrain to catch a SkyTrain. And there's like this pack of people. And I'm walking on the sidewalk. You can fit one person going each way, right? Single file. It makes sense. We all just go single file, right? If there's people going. But none of these people were like, they didn't see me. I like, there was just like, they were all tuned out. Some of them were on their phones, completely tuned out. Like they were almost starting to run into me, right? And I'm like, I have a choice here. I can like literally like get out of the way, or I can just stand there. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, why should I move? Like, why should I move? Because there's just like, 30 of you, right? I have just as much of a right to the sidewalk as you do. So I just held my ground on the sidewalk, trusting that somebody might fall in, like actually run into me. And this woman's coming up to me. She's getting closer, like she's almost about to run into me. I literally stopped and I'm like, heads up. Like I literally said, I'm like, heads up. Because she was just about to crash right into me while I was standing there, right? She looks up in complete shock. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, you might want to look up when you're walking. Right? And I'm like, okay, that's weird. then, then I get home and I go grab my dog and she's got to go out for a walk, right? And so I go in and I grab her and I leash her up. And I live in a townhouse complex and it's got like gates, right? You can't get out. There's a locked gate system, right? So I'm just heading out of the gate and there's a couple who are standing by the keypad and they're, trying to call somebody to let them in. I'm a security person. We have locked gates for a reason. I'm like, I'm not going to let this person in. Like, I have no idea who they are, right? So I'm taking my dog. My dog goes out the gate and I've got the gate and I'm going to close the door behind me, right? It's a big metal gate. I'm going to close it behind me so they can't get in, right? Anyways, this woman grabs the door right out of my hand. Like she grabs it. And so I literally grabbed it back and I closed it. And she's like, oh, well, my daughter lives here. And I said, ma'am, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't. I have no idea who this person is. I don't know if her daughter lives here. Like, I don't really know. And it's not up to me to let her in, right? And I'm like, that all happened within 30 minutes. And I got home after and I was sitting there going, okay, 3 weird things happened in 30 minutes. And I sat there and I know what I was clearing. There's something I've been working on and I know what that was clearing. That was the final hurrah. That was 3 weird little synchronicities that came up for me to choose who I wanted to be. Who do I want to be? Am I going to put, and so for me, am I going to put somebody else's needs above my own? Am I going to put what somebody else wants above what I want? Am I going to, be quiet when I need to speak up for myself? Like there was so many like layers to this. But it's like 3 little mini tests and they're so random, like just so weird. And it's really easy to go into story. It's really easy to go into story. Well, people are rude and oh my God, nobody sees me and the world's an awful place and like, oh my God, like I'm not like, and it was like after I got home and I sat with this for a few minutes, ate some food too because I was hungry. I'm like, this is amazing. This is freaking amazing. I just cleared something and I just passed all 3 tests. I just passed it. It's like, I just did it. It's done. It's cleared. Celebrate, get excited. And this is what I'm saying. Something happened to me. I'm not going to go into the details, but something very similar happened to me when I was clearing something else earlier in the year. In a matter of 4 days, I had 3 separate people that I don't know that well lay into me and tell me how to live my life and run my business and everything. People I don't know that well, people I didn't ask for advice from. Like it was just insane. 3 within 4 days. Random people. Like I had somebody I haven't spoken to in a year just text me randomly and tell me what to do. Like that's how wild this can be. You're just sitting there going like, what the actual? Something's being cleared. It's time to get excited. It's not time to go into a story about poor me. Universe, the life, whatever, life source, whatever you want to call it, is just going, okay, this is the final moment. You get to choose. Who do you want to be? How do you want your life to be? How do you want to respond to situations? That's all it is. So if right now, you feel like you're being stretched, something has come up, okay, that you didn't necessarily want. I didn't want any of this. Like yesterday, I'm like, I could have lived without that half an hour of people. If something is coming up that you're just like, this is not a vibe. I'm not loving this for me. Is this something clearing? what you need to do is start to look. Well, if you do want to look at this, you can do whatever you want. Of course, you've got free will, but what you want to do is look at, like, what is the common thread? What is the common thread? What's the thing that you've been working on? What's the thing that's been going through your mind a lot lately? Because I can guarantee there was a common thread. Like, these were all so random. Like I said, the randomness is what often is the indicator when you find these connections. For me, they always go in threes. For some reason, I always have like 1, 2, 3 little weird synchronicities that happen. But they can also happen in one big one. I've had that happen a lot as well. Like, there was one point last summer when I was really, really doing a lot of work around power, and I was well, verbally assaulted, but physically and in public. I had an instance with a man who came at me in public, very angry with me for not sharing my table with him. And I knew then, like I knew yesterday, it's like, okay, something big is clearing. So this is all about pattern recognition. This is about being conscious enough to go, what have I been working through? What's coming up? And where is the parallel? Because once you see that, it is time to celebrate. It is time to get excited, because that means you've just released. That is the final hurrah, the final purge, the final thing is going. And right now you have an opportunity, which is why I'm sharing this video now, because if this is happening to you, I don't want you to go down the path of telling yourself a story that it's not working or something bad is happening or there's no point to all this. I want to completely change your perspective and go, this is exactly what it is. It's the final moment. Because what happens after you clear it, like after you make the new choice, what happens is things will start to open up. It's kind of like, if you could imagine, there's this pressure point, right? This buildup. And then you have these trigger moments, right? Of all the things you've been clearing, and all of a sudden they go whoosh, and it's like a gate opens. Now you've got this free access. So you'll start to have new ideas, new opportunities, new things. This is the get excited, because that's literally what happens, is like you've just this final release of all this buildup that you've been working on. And then all of a sudden it goes. And then you're just like, oh, new opportunities, new ideas, new things start to manifest. So celebrate, get excited. This is why I was so excited to share this video. And of course, this happened to me yesterday. So I'm already excited. I'm like, this is exciting. What's going to happen this week? Like, literally, what's going to happen this week? Because I just broke through. I just flipping broke through. Celebrate yourself. This is freaking amazing. It really is. Get excited. May is going to be a very interesting month. There's the potential here for manifestations and abundance. And I'm going to be doing my masterclass for May is going to be on abundance, wealth, money, and all of that. I actually don't know what it's going to be about yet specifically. I haven't recorded it yet, nothing like that yet. And I'm just going to wait to feel what comes in, because I know something's starting to come in. And who knows, what I cleared yesterday could be what I needed to actually pull this new masterclass. And this is how this works, right? This is how you create in the new paradigm. This is how you do life. I don't sit here going like, oh, what am I going to write in this masterclass? I'm like, no, what's coming in energetically, and allowing it, doing all the clearing that allows the new ideas to come in. Okay. So look forward to May. Get excited. Just keep your mind open, completely open to seeing things in a different way than you ever have before. And this can truly be a magical month. All right, beautiful soul. I'm going to put all the links down for everything down below. Of course, I've got lots of masterclasses. The energetics of success is coming to mind right now. And of course, one-on-one sessions. I've got longer mentorships. Everything is going to be linked down below. As well, I do a weekly free newsletter. You can also sign up down below. You can always go to my website as well. All the newsletter blog posts are always on my website, so you can also go down there. The link is also down below. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.